All right, friends, so today's our first day of our throwing and catching unit. And now everybody say yes.
Yes!
All right, so throwing and catching is one of my favorite things to teach because it's just an important skill. There's tons of activities and different sports that you can use. Now, can anybody raise your hand and think of or mention any sport where you can throw and catch? Any sport? Basketball, right? Basketball is one of them where you throw, you dribble, and you have to catch and pass the ball. Baseball is another one where you have to throw, you have to be able to catch it, and also throw it to people who are guarding the bases. What other sport would you think? What about volleyball, right? Volleyball, you have to toss it up, and you also have to strike it. So it's the same motion as overhand throw. Another sport would be football, right? You catch, you throw, a bunch of movements that you have to make. So it's throwing and catching is a very important skill because it's something that you can practice in many different sports. So we're gonna be working, so as for today, we're gonna be working on underhand throw. Next week, we'll go ahead and move on to overhead throw. But today we're gonna focus on underhand throw, okay? So everyone, please have your eyes and ears on me. When we focus on underhand throw, we're gonna be facing our target, okay? So we're gonna remember three key words: swing, step, and throw, okay? Swing, step, and throw. Now, it's very important that you step with your opposite foot as you release, okay? So if you're throwing the object with your right hand or right arm, you're gonna have to step with your opposite foot, which in this case, it's my left, being that I'm releasing the ball with my right arm. So you're gonna have a straight arm, and you're gonna swing your arm back, step with your opposite foot, and throw, okay? So now, when you're catching the ball today, I want you to reach, everybody say reach, grab, and give, okay? So, reach, grab, and give, okay? So today, we're gonna be throwing the ball to the wall. We're gonna set up a target. Set up a target is most likely gonna be a shape of a square. And the whole idea is practice the same skill that I went over right now, where you swing back, you step with your opposition, and you release to your intending target. All right, so as you release the ball, we're also gonna practice on catching. So if you're throwing the ball to the target, which it's starting up high, as you release, you're gonna start, it's gonna hit the wall and it's gonna start up high. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your hands up with your thumbs pointing at the wall, and you're gonna catch, grab, and bring it inside and tuck it into your body, okay? So like I said, you're gonna release, expect the ball to bounce back from the wall, and you're gonna have your hands right out in front of you with your thumbs facing the wall, and you're gonna catch, grab, and tuck the ball in, okay? So here we go. So now we're gonna include both tasks where you swing, step, release. So once again, swing it back, you're gonna step, throw, and release. You're gonna expect the ball to bounce back off from the wall, and you're gonna reach, keep your hands up, reach for the ball, grab, and tuck it in, okay? So does everyone understand the challenge that we're doing today? Now I'm gonna ask you a few questions. So for today, what's the main fundamental that we're working on today? Specific cue, before you release the ball. It would be to step with your opposition, okay? So just keep that in mind. You might forget and you might end up stepping with the same foot as you're releasing with the same arm. So just keep that in mind, okay? stepping with opposition, okay? So now I'm gonna have everyone, imagine that you're holding onto a ball. So everyone, an imaginary ball in your hand, and you're gonna swing your arm back, okay? Swing your arm back, step with opposition, and release. Now, with that same thought, imagine the ball bouncing back from the wall, and you're gonna reach and grab the ball and tuck it into your body, okay? So that would be the first activity that we're working on for today, okay? The second activity that we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you practice with the partner. You're gonna have about most likely 5 feet from each other, okay? So 5 feet apart from each other. So you're gonna stand right across from your partner, and we're gonna work on the same skills, okay? So you're gonna if you're not the person throwing the ball, I want you to set a target for your partner. Now, the target for your partner should be chest high. So you're gonna have your hands out in front of your chest. That's gonna indicate the target for your partner. Now, you're also gonna practice on grabbing the ball. So you're gonna reach, grab for the ball, and you're gonna tuck it into your body. So that's gonna be, you're both gonna be working on your skills. So if you're not, like I mentioned, if you're not the one throwing the ball, you're gonna work on catching the ball. So grab, first of all, keep your hands out in front, and you're gonna grab, tuck it into your body. Now, if you're the person who's throwing the ball, you're gonna focus on the skills and the main cues that I mentioned before, which is swing. You're gonna swing your arm back, keeping your arm straight, right? Then you're gonna step with opposition and release. So that's gonna be our second task. For our third and final task, what I'm gonna have you guys do is I'm gonna set up a game which is called bowling. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with bowling, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I don't have bowling pins, so we're gonna have to improvise today, okay? So I am gonna set up some cups for you. So these cups, it's gonna be the same concept as if you're playing bowling. I'm gonna set the 3, 2, 1 formation, and we're gonna practice the same thing, right? We're gonna rock our arms, or swing your arm back, and step with opposition, and you release. Now the whole intention is to hit the target, which is the cones, and knock down as many pins as possible. Okay, so that's gonna be our third and final task. All right, so today for our first task, this would be our indicated target here, okay? So we're gonna practice on what I mentioned before, which is swing your arm back, step with opposition, release, okay? Now I want you to hit this target. We're not gonna focus on catching it. So our first task would be just making sure we can hit our target here, okay? So we're gonna start about 5 feet away from the wall, which is the indicated target. Make sure that you are clearly looking at your target. So you're gonna swing your arm back, step forward with your opposite foot, and release. Okay. Now, for the first few attempts, just try not so hard on throwing the ball directly to the target. Obviously, that's the purpose of our task. But I want to make sure that you get comfortable with the specific cues, especially on releasing the ball. Okay. So I'm going to have you start and focus on throwing the target. Like I said, don't try throwing the ball so hard. Just focus on trying to hit your aim here towards the target. Okay, so here we go. Begin. Okay. 8 times. Let's do this 8 times. All right. So let me just see. So same thing. Keep your same posture. Stand nice and straight. Make sure you keep your arm nice and straight. Okay. We would like to also have that included in our. Rock it back. Now step. Release. There you go. Rock, step, and release. Perfect. All right. So we got 3 more to go, okay? There you go. So now let me have you step a bit further away from the wall. And let's practice the same skill. There you go. I'll catch the ball for you, okay? You just focus on hitting the target. There you go. One more time. Nice. All right, so now we're gonna go away from this ball. Now we're gonna use what it's called a dimple ball. Now this ball, as you can see, is bouncier than the other one that we were using. Show you the difference. There you go, see? Now this one. Now the reason why we're using this one is because now we're gonna work on 2 skills at the same time. So we already went over our throwing. Now we're gonna focus on our catching. So as you release the ball, same thing, right? Rock, swing, release. You're gonna focus on catching the ball, ricocheting off the wall. Now it's gonna be very simple. You're gonna be expecting the ball. As you release, both hands should come up forward, basically about right out in front of your chest, right out in front of your chest. So you're gonna expect the ball, retrieve it. So you're gonna catch it, grab, and tuck it into your body. Okay? Let me give you a demonstration. I'm gonna go here, swing, step, release, expect the ball, bring it into your body. Okay? One more time. Rock or swing your arm back, step, release, expect the ball, bring it into your body. Here we go. There you go. Yeah. Tuck it in, yeah. There you go. Exactly. Now always, as soon as you release that ball, as soon as you release it, have both arms out here right in front of your chest, expecting that ball. Okay? There you go. There you go. There you go. You know what I like? I like how you have a slight bend on your knees, because it gives you a bit better understanding of visualizing the ball as you're retrieving it from the wall. So step back now a little bit. There you go. Same thing. 3 more times. There you go. 2 more times. Just make sure you can secure that ball. Grasp that ball. Grab it firmly. There you go. 1 more time. Nice. All right, so for our second task now, now that we went over our throwing and catching, we're gonna implement a partner, okay? So you're gonna have a partner. In this case, it will be me. What we're gonna do is, I'm gonna start off with the ball, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna practice on my throwing skills. Now you, as the receiver, I want you to have both hands out in front. I want you to give me a target, okay? Now your target should be about chest level high. Now as you give your target, make sure you have your hands shoulder width apart, and indicating your hands out here out in front, and having your thumbs facing your partner, okay? So what are you gonna do? Oh, let me just go over. So as you catch the ball, I want you to work on the same skills, right? Hands out in front, catch, right? Catch the ball and tuck it into your body. So that's the skill you're gonna be working on. I'm gonna be the one who's gonna be throwing the ball. So as I throw the ball, you catch the ball, and then you're gonna practice how to throw the ball, and then vice versa. I'm gonna be practicing on how to catch the ball. Okay? So we're gonna start off from a closer distance, and we're gonna progress ourselves, basically incrementing our distance from each other apart. Okay? So here we go. So you're gonna give me the target. I'm gonna practice my throwing skills. So I'm gonna swing my arm back, step, and throw. There you go. Now you're the you're gonna be throwing the ball, I'm gonna be receiving the ball. So I'm gonna set a target for you. And here we go. What I want you to do is before you step with your opposition, keep in mind, walk that, just swing your arm back. After you swing your arm back, that's when I want you to step with your opposite foot, okay? So here we go. See? I have the ball out in front. I can visually see the ball. My arm is nice and straight. Now I'm swinging my arm back, stepping, and you're expecting the ball. Now catch, tuck it in. All right? Here we go. Target out in front, and tuck it in. So when you catch the ball, try to do it in a smoothly manner. So catch, in, bring it in automatically. Okay? So here we go. There you go. Nice and smooth. Bring it in. All right. One more time, and then we'll increase our distance. So here we go. Here. Here. There we go. All right. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to increase the distance. So I'm going to step away from you. Now, if you increase the distance, you need to create more momentum. So as you're rocking your arm back, I want you to step a bit further away from your body. So your left foot should step further away to create that momentum to be able to throw the ball with more force. Okay? So let me show you one more time. So same thing. Swing it back. Have a longer stride to create that momentum and have more force as you release the ball, okay? So, you're still gonna be we're both gonna be doing the same thing, okay? So, if I'm throwing, you're practicing your catching skills, okay? So here we go. Target out in front. There you go. Here we go. And make sure you set the target for me. Shoulder width apart. There you go. There you go. 3 more times. There we go. Have a slight bend on your knees. Yeah. Nice. Last one. There you go. All right, so for this task, basically what was really important to emphasize as we were getting further away from each other, we had already gone our as I can say, we had already gone over our basic skills, which were throwing and catching, but what we did emphasize was the distance away from each other. So it was basically creating that momentum to have more force as you release the ball. You had to have a longer stride in order for you to create momentum. Longer stride and release with more force. So that was we went over the same routine, the same cues as you were throwing and catching, but it was just emphasizing that momentum to create that force. All right, guys, so now for our final task of the day, we're gonna have fun and we're gonna play bowling, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I don't have the bowling pins, but we have to improvise today. So what we ended up doing was using the same formation, I ended up using some cups. Everyone at home should be able to have cups. I know with this quarantine, we're not able to go to our bowling alleys, our favorite bowling alleys, to have fun. So why not have fun at home, right? So we're gonna have some cups, okay? So we're gonna have some cups, and we're gonna start from a close distance and work ourselves back. It's basically, I'm gonna go over our throwing skills, which I did mention before. It's very, very simple. The reason why we went over the emphasizing the target, so that once we go on to our final task, we can knock down as many cups as possible, okay? Same cues. Swing your arm back, step forward, and release. Now for this task, I do want you to have, as you release the ball, well, as you step forward with that position and you're releasing the ball, I want you to bend your knees a lot more than what we were doing when we were first hitting our intended target, which was against the wall. Now the reason why I said I would like you, as you're stepping forward with your opposition and as you're releasing the ball, the reason why I said is I want you to have a bend on your knees so that you can emphasize the release as your arm is swinging forward. I want you to create that momentum of releasing the ball as low as possible. If you do a regular momentum, which we were working on before, which you're basically had an upright position, it'll cause for the ball to go up in the air. Now for this task, given that the pins are on the floor, I would like you to release the ball as close. Well, basically, I want you to roll the ball on the floor. So stepping and swinging your arm forward as low as possible to knock down the cups. Okay. So let me give you a visual demonstration. If I can have you on this side just for now. So, like I said, swing your arm back, stepping with opposition, having a greater bend on your knees, and as you're swinging your arm forward, I want you to release the ball as low as possible. So knock down as many cups. In the game of bowling, you have to knock down as many pins as possible. Obviously, I did only knock down 1 cup, right? So you have one more attempt to knock down as many as you can. So here we go. Swing forward and release. There you go. So that's the ultimate goal. Knocking down as many cups as possible. Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is for today, I'm gonna be your partner, and we're gonna have fun. It's not about being competitive. It's just about having fun and engaging with another partner, and just working on the same skill set that I taught. Okay. So I want you to. You're not gonna throw the ball. I want you to practice on the skill. I did mention that I want you to have a stride, but as you stride, I want you to have a bigger bend on your knees, okay? And as you swing your arm forward, I want you to release the ball as low as possible. So if we can go practice over that skill set before we throw the ball, or before we release the ball. So you're gonna swing your arm back. There you go. Before rocking your arm forward again, bend your knees again, as you step with that position. So yeah, swing it back, step, and try to swing your arm forward as low as possible. That way you can knock down as many cups as possible. Okay. The lower you swing your arm as close to the ground, the better possibility you have of knocking down the cups. So go over that one more time. And step. There you go. Now, as you're releasing the ball, I want you to stop here with the ball here, because, like I said, if you create that momentum of bringing the ball up, then the ball's not gonna roll on the floor. You're probably most likely gonna create the ball to catch air, which is not what we're working on right now. Okay. So one more time. And there you go. Okay. So now let's have fun. Okay. Let's see how many cups you can knock down. If I can have you step a bit further back from the cups or the pins, further back. There you go. Okay. So now make sure I want you to emphasize those cues. Okay. Rock, step, and roll. Oh, nice job. All right. So to conclude our lesson for today, I'm gonna ask you a few questions on both our throwing skills and our catching skill set. Okay. So I would like you to demonstrate my first cue in our throwing skill. What was the first cue I mentioned in order for you to be successful to throw the ball forward. Nice, yes. Swinging your arm back. Now, if you can demonstrate the second cue. Second cue is really important in order for you to be successful. There you go, stepping with opposition. Stepping with opposition. And our final and last cue for our throwing skill. So you did mention rock, swing, step, and lastly, release the ball. There you go, releasing the ball to your intended target. Now, if your target is high, you want to make sure you create that angle where you're releasing the ball at a higher level. If the target is low, then you want to make sure you have a bigger bend on your knees and you're keeping your swinging motion to the intended target. And lastly, our catching skill. Our catching skill was very brief and easy, as I mentioned before, right? It was basically just having a slight bend on your knees and expecting the ball. Now, when we practice our ball hitting off the wall, I wanted you to just emphasize having your arms out in front, and grabbing the ball and tucking it in, right? So yeah, our catching skill was very brief and easy. But before we end our lesson today, just want to let you know that our next lesson we're gonna focus on overhand throwing. Okay, so today it was our lesson was focused on underhand. Next lesson we're gonna focus on overhand throwing. Okay, all right, class, great job today.